Hi everybody, Mike Friedman here from AI Technology Design, back with another day in our 30 Days of Technology. Today we're going to be talking about Amazon Alexa and why it's such a cool ecosystem to tie all the other solutions in your connected home together. Okay, so in the old days, getting yourself into the automation world was really expensive. It was incredibly complicated. You needed a dedicated professional. It certainly wasn't a do-it-yourself solution. And there were very limited hardware options, and many of them did not play nicely with each other. Now, if we fast forward a few years, that has all gone bye-bye. We can buy tons of cool products from tons of different brands. And these are industry-leading brands, and we can connect everything together using Amazon Alexa as the solution. For lack of a better term, connecting the dots. It's the umbrella that covers all the other technology in your house. And as a super awesome added bonus, you can use voice control to make everything in your house work. Really great options. We're going to dig into it right now. Okay, so remember earlier we were talking about you needed a professional to do everything? This is not the case with Amazon and the Alexa ecosystem. If you can do two things, you can automate your home. If you can download an app and plug in a lamp. And if you can do those things, you're ready to go with Amazon, because that's literally all you're doing. You're downloading the Amazon Alexa app, you're adding products to your ecosystem, and away you go. Now, there's a couple things you should know about. One of them is that if you're adding non-Alexa product, you still have to add those products with the app that comes with them. So if we're adding Ring cameras or Nest smoke and CO2 detectors or Sonos Play 5s, we have to open up the respective apps and add those products through their proprietary apps. Once that's done, then we can open up the Amazon Alexa app, authorize Amazon to talk to those accounts, and it's a very simple process. You're guided through it, and that's it. Now you have voice control. You have simple automation. You even have the ability to do multiple things at once. We call that a scene, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. The Alexa app can do so much more than just voice control. And I want to go through some of the cool features and some of the main features. So first of all, it is the brain of our connected home, and I really like it for that very reason. It ties everything else in our home together, and all the great products that we have in our home for various functions all work together real easily and can be voice controlled. But it also helps with other things like productivity. So we can set alarms and timers. As an example, my kids wake up to an alarm that they set with their voice control in their room, and we can set timers for certain things, like how much longer do I have to do homework, things like that, as well as cooking. Perfect for shopping. Speaking of cooking, we keep an Amazon Alexa device in our kitchen. Now, because I have 3 kids, they literally eat my paycheck. They're like locusts. Wonderful, loving locusts, but they're still like locusts. And what ends up happening is we run low on a lot of stuff. Now, I might know we're out of milk, but my wife doesn't know we're out of milk. So what ends up happening is we don't get milk. Now what we do is say, Alexa, add milk to our shopping list. Alexa, add bread to our shopping list. And what is awesome about it is it's on the shopping list. So it doesn't matter which one of us is in the grocery store, we pull up our shopping list and we see what's there. And you can also do things like tell Alexa to order certain things from Amazon, but remember, we don't buy a lot of our fresh produce and groceries from Amazon, so we want to make sure we don't forget those things, because those are a very important part of a healthy lifestyle. I really like the communication aspect of Alexa. When I was a kid, we had a type of intercom known as yelling up the stairs. And that's fine, but it's not really a peaceful house when everyone's yelling up the stairs to be heard. So now we can do things like make an announcement, everyone hears it, and it goes to most of the key rooms in the house, and it's not this shock of loudness coming up the stairs. So it's really nice for that as well. And the last thing that I like about Alexa is it's really great for multi-room audio. Now, there are brands like Sonos out there that specialize just in multi-room audio, but if you're going to use Amazon hardware or any other brand of hardware, you can actually make it all work fairly seamlessly using Amazon Alexa. So really great options and loads of things you can do with it. Now, my favorite part is what it feels like. Remember those Iron Man movies? Remember Jarvis, his AI helper? It's kind of like having Jarvis in your own home. Now, you can't fire missiles or anything like that the way he can, but it's really, really neat. You speak and it listens, so it's really simple as well. And last thing that I really like is if you ask it anything, whether you want it to find something or tell you some facts or what's the weather, it will find it for you and it'll tell you as well. So it's a really great communication. I'll give you an example how I use it. We live about 45 minutes outside of Vancouver. Traffic can be an issue in the Lower Mainland, so I will ask Alexa to let me know what traffic's like going into the city. And that allows me to plan my route if I'm not using GPS. Really cool features, and these are all built into every Alexa product. Getting into Amazon Alexa and that ecosystem is dirt cheap. The 5th generation Echo Dot, which is their newest smart speaker, is gotta be one of the most compelling smart devices I've ever seen. It has all that Alexa magic under the hood, but it also has an Eero repeater in it, so it'll actually strengthen your Wi-Fi network as well. Now, that cost you $70 in Canada. That is virtually nothing when it comes to adding technology. And you can get all of this stuff, a Wi-Fi repeater, a smart speaker, Amazon Alexa, all that automation, and it's like $70. So if you think about that, where else are you going to get all of those things for such a low price? And that's what I love about Amazon Alexa. Not everybody has a ton of money to throw at automating their home, and for very little money you can get into this, do everything you need to do, and build it out slowly at your own pace. So I want to get into what the Amazon Alexa Home Hub could do, but before we do that, I want to give you a little bit of an understanding about different wireless protocols, because we hear the term wireless and there's a lot of different flavors of wireless. So let's go through them. The first is 802.11 or standard Wi-Fi. We're pretty used to this. We use this in the home all the time. There's also another protocol called Bluetooth, and you're probably using that right now for audio if you're listening to this through headphones or a speaker. The next is called Z-Wave, or Z-Wave as it's legally called in Canada, and that's used by a lot of products to communicate with each other. And finally, there's another protocol called Zigbee, and Zigbee is where we start to get interesting, because Zigbee is how a lot of the smart devices in your home communicate. It's not that Wi-Fi is not the reliable form of communication, but when it comes to automation, it is not the most reliable form. So now that we know a little bit the different types of wireless protocols, let's get into how the Home Hub works. So the Alexa Home Hub is very, very simple. Zigbee devices are really, really good at talking to each other, far better than other wireless protocols. And what Generation 4 and above Alexa products do is they have Zigbee built in. That Zigbee capability is right there, which means they're very smart for tying everything together in the home. And what happens is when you tie all these Zigbee products together, you create what's known as a mesh network. And we've talked about mesh networks in one of our earlier videos when we talked about Eero. Essentially, Zigbee is another type of mesh network, which is why it's such an effective way to tie all your stuff together. So a lot of the stuff we're going to use to automate the home, especially at the do-it-yourself level, your smart bulbs from brands like Hue, switches, plugs, all of this stuff works better when we're using Zigbee, and Zigbee makes it easier to manage various ecosystems simultaneously as well. So that's what Alexa Home Hub can do. It's a very simple, straightforward, cost-effective way to start to really tie all the smart and connected devices in your home together. Amazon has a great ecosystem. So they have their Dots, which are their smart speakers. They have higher level smart speakers. They have another device called the Show, which is like a smart speaker with a video capability and actually a screen built into it. And we have those in our kitchen and different parts of our house. So we can actually video conference with each other, as well as see things like recipes on YouTube and stuff like that. So really cool piece of technology. But the real magic of Alexa is the mothership. Now, Amazon owns Alexa, and they also own some other great products too. Two that I want to bring to your attention. The first is called Eero, which is a phenomenal Wi-Fi solution for your entire home. And the second is Ring, which is a great security solution, doorbell cameras and the like. And what's great about it is all of that stuff is ready for Alexa, which means there's very little effort required to actually integrate it, which means it's super, super easy for you. So as much as it's nice to get products from different brands working together, getting products from the same brand to work together is even easier, more straightforward, and reduces some of the frustration integration that sometimes goes with integrating. So Alexa makes a very broad ecosystem, and the fact that everything is now labeled that it's ready to work with Alexa makes it really easy to pick and choose the right pieces to put together to automate your home. Alexa speakers work really, really well. And I want to give you a little bit of context as to where I come from when I say that, because I have a very strong pedigree in audio. I've worked for some really high-end speaker companies like PMC, Tannoy, and Linn, and some great products that are generally used every day. Brands like Polk Audio and the company that started multi-room audio, Sonos. So I know a thing or two about good sound. So when I say what I'm about to say, I wanted to put this in perspective first. By my ears, Amazon speakers sound really, really, really good. Do they sound as good as my $20,000 tower speakers in my living room? No, absolutely not, but they're not designed to do that. But for the average person who's used to hearing crappy sound out of crappy headphones, it's a dramatic improvement what you're used to. And the good part about it is, unlike those really expensive speakers I have in my living room, I can use my voice to control it. So I'm the only one who can run the electronics in my living room. Everyone in my house can use these speakers. And so you get the great sound quality, you get the ease of use of the app, you get the ease of use of voice control. You just have to say, hey, Alexa, play Pink Floyd, and it'll play Pink Floyd. So it's really nice because you get a speaker out of the deal that plays at a really high quality level. You get access to all the music in the world, and as an added bonus, you have your news, your weather, your sports scores, your traffic, and all the other stuff that comes with owning Alexa products. The reason you have to say, hey, Alexa is very simple. Alexa's always listening. It has a series of microphones. It's designed to hear everything we say because we don't want it to miss any important information. However, it's kind of like a Simon Says situation. If you don't say the right words, it's not going to do certain things, and that avoids having issues of orders being placed or lights being turned off or anything else that you don't want it to do. And at the same time, we don't want to get into a Skynet situation where it becomes autonomous and just starts doing things on its own. I mean, we saw a movie by Stanley Kubrick where that happened to a computer named HAL, and it didn't end well for anybody. So that's the main reason. It is a wake word. So you have it, the benefit of it listening all the time, but you only have it responding when you specifically tell it to wake up by saying, hey, Alexa.